Knowing about and using security plugins is an essential part of keeping your WordPress site safe. However, maybe you don't feel you need the robust plugins for your site, or you simply don't have the server resources to keep them running. There are a few things you should absolutely do, and you should know why you do them. Both BetterWP Security and WordFence can make this one easy for you. You'd be best off to install at least one of these plugins simply for the ease of accomplishing some of the tasks I'll mention in this video. If you don't have the hosting resources for one, get a new host. They don't require that much memory, except when they're running scans, and every host should be able to support it. First off, change the admin username. It's the weakest link in the security chain in WordPress, and it's the same in every WordPress install by default. It's half the login for any attackers, so if you change it, you've made their attempt that much more difficult. Second, use good passwords. If you're using a plugin that can force good passwords, enforce that policy. It's very easy for an attacker to gain access to a site that's using the default admin username and a dictionary word for a password. I know it can be difficult to remember a complex password, but it's much more of a pain to have to deal with a hacked website. And don't think the password rule is limited to WordPress. Your hosting account and FTP accounts also need good passwords. Your username is usually the first 8 characters of your domain name, especially on cPanel servers. So attackers already have that half of the login. Don't use secret123 for your password. You will get hacked. Something else you should do is monitor user input. This means moderating comments and being suspicious about any links you see. Make sure they're safe, and if you have any doubt about a URL, you should either trash the comment. Make sure they're safe, and if you have any doubt about a URL, you should either trash the comment or run the URL through a website like Security Site Check. If you've got a website full of malicious links, Google or another blacklist will see that and flag your site. From there, it would quickly propagate to other blacklists. Another of the absolute necessities of running a WordPress site is keeping both WordPress and your plugins up to date. Simply because a piece of software has been released does not mean that it does not have security holes in it. Updates often include security fixes and updates that will protect your site from specific attacks known as exploits. One of the things an attacker does is look for vulnerable software versions, so don't give them that attack vector. That being said, use as few plugins as you possibly can. Don't take that to mean that you shouldn't try to enrich your site's content, functionality, and security by not using plugins, but don't use superfluous plugins that you or your readers would rarely use. Configuring htaccess might seem complicated for many people when talking about security. For the few that do look complicated, they aren't really changed, so just copy exactly what you saw in the htaccess video into your own, but remember to change your domain. If you follow these guidelines, configure a good security plugin, and be careful, your site will be as safe as it can possibly be. Unfortunately, hackers sometimes do get through, even though we try our hardest to keep them out. It happens. That's why you make backups. However, do these things and the great majority of hack attempts will fail miserably.